Hello everyone, welcome back to the next part of Belladonna. She says hello. Okay. So yeah, just a bunch of notes to read in this game. It's more about the story than any kind of gameplay really. It's like a point and click walking sim, sort of. Okay, gotta earn another note in a bowl. We need to find another candlestick.
This story is so sad. I don't even know if I want to read this one.
My wife took the wayward maid's death harder than I had expected, further confirming my suspicions that they were indeed having a secretive love affair. She is passionate and irrational. Can you really call somebody passionate and irrational at the same time? Raging all day and crying all night. Where a few months ago the cold shroud of silence lay over our house, now there is the wailing shrieks of bedlam. One would think that she would be used to dealing with the grief of lost loved ones by now. However, in all sincerity, I don't believe she was ever as affected by the death of our only son as I was. I also suspect that she might have guessed I had something to do with her lover's demise. If she wouldn't talk to me before, now she yells and barks at my every movement. I hardly leave my laboratory these days. I even have a small bed down here where I sleep the few hours when I'm not working. All the while, she prowls around upstairs like a hungry tiger and attacks me over futile nitpicks as soon as I poke my head out. What happened to the love we shared when we married? We were going to live together in her inherited castle, so it's her house, her castle. We were going to have children together. Now all I get is abuse and a cold bed in the basement. All I want is for things to go back to the way they were before all of this. Well, you shouldn't have killed the maid. Okay, there's a bowl.
A beautiful china bowl. It looks hand-painted.
We should steal it.
The name on the plaque is Lucas von Trauerschloss. This must be the ashes of Wolfram's son.
Okay. Just gotta exit. Can't open the drawers, so I guess we're good to leave here.
A dead body.
Uh-oh. And a note. Poke it.
It's the body of Dr. von Trauerschloss. He's dead. And what's more, he's been murdered. But who could have done this? There must be some clues around.
Well, there's a lot of clues around.
The missing candlestick. And it seems to be the murder weapon.
Let's just take it.
There's a letter clutched in his hand. His final words? Or a clue left by the killer.
Over the course of sleepless nights, I have thought through my next course of action from every possible angle, for it is indeed time for me to take action again. Even with the troublesome maid out of the way, I see little chance of getting my old Belladonna back. If anything, she is worse now than ever before, but I have an idea, one that kept me awake all night. I've come very far in my research by now. I can now fairly predictably create living creatures that are stable enough to not spontaneously die again. This is consistent through many different species of animals. I have noticed something peculiar, though. The returned creations seem strangely vacant and sluggish. It is as if, although the body is brought back to life, the soul is forever lost. Creation is perfectly functional and responds to stimuli just as if it was truly alive, but the mysterious spark of will seems to be missing. I know no other way to describe the phenomena. This bothered me before, but now I cannot help to think that this might suit my needs. Isn't it precisely the strong will of my wife that is causing all my problems? There's no need to be poetic with flowers this time. I am in no short supply of lethal substances in the laboratory, and poison suits my needs as well as it leaves no physical trauma on the body. I still need to make incisions in the corpse to replace internal organs with clockwork parts, but stitching together surgical cuts is much simpler than trying to repair unhealed body damage. The integrity of her visage is a priority. To extinguish Belladonna's current life and give her a new one, to bring her body and mind back minus soul and free will, a beautiful, obedient automaton, a mechanical doll with all the functionality of a woman, but who is responsive and does what she's told. That, my dear future reader, would truly be something. I think it is high time I tried my revivification process on a human subject. Man, this guy's messed up. So he wants to off his wife just so he can bring her back as an automaton. Like Oscar in Siberia. That game I played through on here, my channel. Dude, why don't you, like... Well, I guess he can't divorce her, because then he'd have to leave this castle, so... Because it's her castle, it's not his. More gargoyles.
Those are a lot of gargoyles. Leupold, Brunhilde, Arthur, Maya, Lena, Ismildor, Ether, and Yosef. In that order.
Named all of them. Alright, we got the living... Okay, where were we at? This is the dinner room. The living room, and then the study. And then to the backyard. Let's read this note.
This letter is signed Belladonna. I've been waiting to hear the other side of this story.
If you had asked me just a few years ago about my future, I could never have fathomed my life today would be as it is. So strange a path has the twists of fate set me upon that I wake every morning bewildered, and like a small child I expect anything and everything to happen during each new day. The night my planned future snapped out of joint and took a whole new direction was the night when my son Lucas died. I married Dr. Wolfram von Trauerschloss in the spring, and we loved each other deeply back then. How young we were. He was an educated gentleman from the University of Ingolstadt, and I had first assumed we would get a flat in Vienna. Instead, he convinced me we should live in my family's old castle and accept our roles as old-fashioned nobility to the little village down the hill. We moved into the castle with a staff of 30 servants, beginning the task of breathing life and joy into the majestic halls. At this time, I expected to live out my life as a lady of the household, minding my servants and indeed raising children. Before long, our first son was born, and shortly after that, he once again departed. I was devastated, of course, but Lucas had been sickly from his first day, and even though my husband had blocked out the possibility from his mind, I was not entirely surprised when it happened nonetheless. It changed us. I believe Wolfram blames me for what happened, and he thinks it was somehow my fault. He retreated into his laboratory in the old dungeon and started doing unholy experiments and God knows what. Those were dark times. Instead of a household and a child to take care of I now had no guests, practically no husband, and no child. Everything I thought would occupy my time was gone, and all I could do was grieve in solitude. The castle staff left one by one until there were only a handful still here. My existence was meaningless, and I spent my days doing nothing. But I dealt with my grief in my own way, and in time the claws of melancholy began loosening their grip on me. In so many ways, I have Claire to thank for that. Clara. So he thought it was Claire, C-L-A-I-R-E, but she says it's K-L-A-R-A, Clara. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen Clara or Claire spelled with a K. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Okay, we're just collecting more and more notes here. Okay, we can go try to use the candlestick, I guess. Is it going to open a secret passage or something?
Interesting, but no.
Why can I not put it back?
A big and heavy candlestick. It looks like there used to be 2 of them.
So, I think you can see too, right on the edge of it here, it has blood from where it hit the dude in the head. Don't want you to walk over there. So I use it on it.
Nothing happens.
But she doesn't want to. So I guess we'll hold on to it for now. Excuse me. Okay, let's check the clock. Nice reflections on the floor.
It's an old clock. Tick tock, tick tock.
Okay. I guess the study. Let's try that. Well, hello there, lady.
A stuffed raven atop a bust of Pallas Athena. What a cheerful decoration. Let's call them Annabelle and Dupin.
Okay, let's do that.
That's a lot of books. Imagine you had books filled with every possible combination of letters. I wonder how much room they would take. There's a finite amount of letters, but unless we acknowledge a maximum length of a word, there would still be an infinite number of combinations, and the library would have to be infinitely large.
Yeah, this chick's smarter than I am.
Look, a perfect sphere. Let's see if I can get 2 parallel lines to intersect.
Journal. Toy collection.
Another portrait. It says her name is Franziska Canosa, an old relative, no doubt. But I wonder how she relates to the von Trauerschloss family.
Who knows?
Look at all these old toys. Wind-up dolls, music boxes, and mechanical trains all around. I think this used to be a private hobby of the eccentric Dr. Wolfram's, before he got into the whole corpse business.
Typewriter, can we save our game?
I should sit down and write a story. But with all these journals and diary pages lying around, it seems like I already may have. The doctor's handwriting. I know it well by now.
Months have passed. Excuse me. Months have passed, and I must indeed conclude that the procedure was a success. The new Belladonna is certainly calmer, friendlier, and more docile. She gladly keeps me company in the laboratory nowadays, and she is polite and pleasant in everything she does. One is tempted to describe her demeanor as lobotomized. But no, when I ask her questions, she will answer in a clear and articulated voice, and she is responsive to all kinds of stimuli. Verily, I have gotten all I could ask for. That troublesome maid is gone, and Belladonna is back with me, compliant as ever. Her behavior is exemplary. Our lives are returning to that idyllic past I had thought lost, in all aspects except one. No child giggles in these halls, but my research is proceeding rapidly, and the question presents itself: who needs a womb to create life? I have made an unexpected observation, a side effect of the unliving condition. The household cat, a black beast and once Belladonna's loving pet, has gained a great mistrust for the latter's new form. A disquiet has fallen over the animal, and he will no longer go near the creation. Why is this, I wonder? Why this lack of trust, this sudden and ferocious hatred? Belladonna's appearance seems to me not much unlike what the cat before so fondly gravitated towards, but evidently the beast perceives a difference. As a species, the cat has popularly been associated with witchcraft and mysticism. Their eyes do indeed strike one as remarkable. Is it perchance so that the feline oculus is capable of peering into a human soul and spirit, and so, when faced with the created Belladonna, is distressed by the lack thereof? Yeah. Quite possible. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a cat person. Cats are they're a hard animal to read. I mean, you don't really know what they're thinking or what they're going to do. And, cats have like Freddy Krueger glove hands, they can tear you up. It's a little more easier to read a dog, I think, than it is a cat. Plus, I'm allergic to cats. I mean, if it's a chill cat and I know it's going to be chill, then that's one thing. Let me adjust the mic. Okay, we can't look at the books. There's a ladder. Oh.
I'm not going near that horrible cat. I'll have to get rid of it somehow if I want to proceed.
It gave me a little jump. I didn't see it. I was too focused on the ladder. Mysterious item. Cat. Journal. Proceed to the next room. Hit it with a candlestick.
Interesting, but no.
I think we need to get something and put it in the bowl. Maybe we can give you some nightshade. Some little belladonna. We can toss a typewriter at it. That's what I'd be doing. Look at his tail. What is going on with this cat's tail? Mysterious item. Alright, I guess we gotta come back here. Frickin' cat. Let's go to the living room, I suppose. Whoa. That's a really cool setup for a scene room. Sheeted furniture.
This room looks completely abandoned. I suppose this is what happens when you're down to a skeleton crew of only one maid, no matter how fantastic she is.
Bloody note.
Another journal page. This one has drops of blood on it.
Belladonna must thank remember. I, Belladonna, must thank remember. Had's fingers. Right wards. Words. Hate. Belladonna. I like how they all get their own, letterhead. So you know who wrote the note. I think that's funny. Had fingers. Interesting. Yeah, okay, I get it. So these are notes that Belladonna has written. These are the husband's, Wolfram's notes. And I don't know why this one's down here, but maybe these are all Belladonna notes. And then I don't know what that's going to be. All right.
It's snowing outside. I have no concept of the current year, season, or even geographical location.
Snowing, huh? Okay, nothing else. Just sheeted furniture.
This room looks completely abandoned.
Excuse me. Talking about cats and allergies. getting my allergies going. Okay, so the only other way we can try to go is the backyard, I suppose. I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, just used my mute button, which generally don't like to use. I'm afraid when I press it again, it's not gonna come back on. Alright, we got a bottle of milk. There we go. So we can give the milk to the cat in the bowl.
There's a bottle of milk out here. I wonder how long it's been here. At any rate, it's frozen completely solid. No wonder in this cold.
So we're gonna have to unthaw it. Okay, somehow.
One more Belladonna letter. Let's read about this Clara figure.
Clara Streiber was one of the several chambermaids we hired when we moved into the castle shortly after the marriage. In the warm light of recent events, I feel as though I could pick her out of a crowd already at this time, but I suspect that the truth is that she was just another servant, one of many, and I didn't pay her close to the attention I now know she deserves. Okay, this is Belladonna talking about Clara. The time following the death of Lucas is hazy and unclear in my memory. I know I spent most of my time in an armchair in the living room, staring out the window. I know now that this must have been a difficult time for the staff as well. My apathy left them without purpose as more and more of the household was shut down. Soon the cooks and stable grooms began abandoning what they wisely identified as a sinking ship. As more and more of the staff left the castle to seek employment elsewhere, there was less and less reason for the rest to stay, and the household was quickly decimated. But throughout all of this, young Clara never left my side, and she gradually shouldered more and more of the household responsibilities, making it her task to take care of me and nurse me through my melancholy. It was her loyalty and industriousness when everyone else left that finally brought me back from my condition, and indeed her love. As I now sit down and write, it has been a long, unbroken chain of unhappy days. Clara and I have the whole castle practically to ourselves and nothing to do but to enjoy our lives and each other. We sleep in a new room every night, cook our own food, and have picnics under tables or in front of the fireplace. We have no incentive whatsoever to uphold convention and norms when this house has become like a secure pocket inside the rest of reality. In truth, this touches on what I treasure most in Clara. Neither of us reap any concrete benefits from our union, neither financial nor social. Social, yeah. There is no embedded purpose of producing heirs. Our relationship exists solely for itself and is its own reward. I am already adopting her adorable habit of naming inanimate objects. The castle is not quite ours, however. Wolfram still lurks like a ghoul downstairs and occasionally emerges and spends a night up here with me. We have little in common anymore. In fact, he is like a completely new person. His mind is vacant, his stare distant. He's thinner than ever before and shivers with the cold. Clara jokingly suggested that we might have him declared mad and sent off to an institution. An innocent idea in her mind, but with some planning, this act might eventually prove to be our surest path to finally reclaiming this old castle for us alone. Nice. So she wants to get rid of him just as much as he wanted to change how she was acting too.
This must be the family cemetery. Yet, baby Lucas rests in an urn in the dining room. Why is that? It says Snowflake the pet cat. How cute. The stone is so old and the name is worn off.
Oh. I was like paying attention to what she was paying attention to, and it was like there's creepy music, and I'm like, what's going on? And it's like, oh, there's an open grave. That's what's going on.
The tombstone says Clara Stieber. This must be the grave of the wonderful maid I've heard so much about.
Ooh.
I can't help but notice that it's been emptied.
So he killed her, but he buried her on the property. Huh. And she's not in
The
here.
tombstone says
Yeah.
Clara Stieber. This must be the grave of the wonderful maid I've heard so much about.
Yeah, she's not in there
I
anymore.
can't help but notice. A note.
Great God, why did I not then expire? Why am I here to relate the destruction of the best hope and the purest creature of earth? It was mere days ago, at the peak of our bliss, when Clara fell ill. She complained of headaches and tiredness, so I made a bed for her and laid her down to rest. For the next few days, I cared for my companion just as she had cared for me, and nursed her with all my love and compassion. We believed it was just a passing sickness and that it would be over shortly. Each morning, we thought she was getting better, and each evening we realized she had actually gotten worse. And today, when I entered her bedroom, she was there, lifeless and inanimate, thrown across the bed, her head hanging down, and her pale and distorted features half covered by her hair. In horror I behold the body of Clara, my love, so lately living, so dear, so worthy. I rushed towards her and embraced her with ardor, but the deathly languor and coldness of the limbs told me that what I now held in my arms had ceased to be the Clara whom I had loved and cherished. Alas, what foul curse lies in my gentle touch? I have lost my only child to the darkness, my husband to devouring madness, and now my lover has departed this world as well. So you admit it, you are lovers. Is my love truly as poisonous as my ominous name? Back in my church-going days, the pianist, organist, player in our church, her name was Belladonna. Not Donna, but Belladonna, L-A, I think, and then Donna. But I've never known anybody named Belladonna, but it's a cool name. Alright, do we continue to the greenhouse, or do we go try to give the milk to the cat? Can I put the milk in the bowl?
A sound idea, but the milk is frozen. Can't be poured.
Maybe when we go inside it'll warm up. I don't know. Let's keep going. Actually, is there anything over here? Yes. An angel statue.
2 statues of angels. It seems a bit paradoxical to create statues depicting something that's supposed to be immaterial. Let's call them Justifer and Phi. What a marvelous mausoleum. The plaque says Francisca Canosa. This must be the resting place of the lady from the portrait in the study.
Yeah, and she's actively, naming inanimate objects, just like that letter was talking about, that she likes to do, or that she liked to do. Always give everything a name. Alright, Morris Serta? Morcerta? Not enough greenhouses in horror games. You know what I'm saying? Boxes.
Yes, those are indeed boxes.
What's in them? A note.
More letters. Can someone tell me what happened to poor Clara?
Some time has passed since the demise of Clara. As I calm down and regain control over my emotions, it occurs to me that there are some mysterious circumstances concerning her death. The sickness that came over her was swift and sudden indeed. Admittedly, my own medical knowledge is limited, but it still seems to me that such an instance of terminal change in the body and the bodily humors should not occur naturally. Could it be that she somehow ingested something that made her sick? But what? And from that line of thought, it is not a far leap to ponder if she was murdered. It was long ago that I lost track of the details of my husband's deranged research, but I do know he handles lethal substances and obscure chemicals. How easy it would have been for him to slip something into Claire's food. So then why would he do such a thing? Did he know about our affair? We were very careful, but perchance he guessed it, despite our efforts. He would not go as far as murder based solely on a guess, would he? The distressing truth is, I no longer have any way of telling what Wolfram is capable of. It is of vital importance that these notes never reach any eyes but my own. These are grave accusations I am scribbling down, and in ways of proof I do not even have anywhere to start looking. And yet the possibility is there, gloating in its simplicity. Yet I'm going to leave the notes just strewn across the whole entire castle. Alright guys, we will stop this video here. Should only be another couple of videos, I think, left. The game's only supposed to be about an hour long. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next part. Bye.